quite a palaver.
Better safe than sorry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right, for arms! Ready! Fire!
Breakfast, sir?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
Breakfast, madam?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Not hungry?
Not that hungry.
Doesn't smell too bad.
It is a smoking area, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry, there were no seats left in non-smokers.
I'm afraid I have to puff.
Oh, yes, this is smoking, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking at you because I thought, well, this may sound terrible, but don't I know you from somewhere?
No, I don't think we've met.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought, sorry.
I'm Sue Friday.
Hello, Geoffrey Hollins. Oh, good heavens, Sue Friday. Ah, I'm sorry. Of course, I've seen you on television hundreds of times. And no wonder I thought... Oh, I am sorry.
It often happens.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Haven't I seen you in our living room? It's embarrassing for you.
Not at all. It's what keeps me working.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Are you going to Belfast?
Aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, if you aren't, you're on the wrong plane.
Oh, yes, see what you mean. Yeah.
You're going then?
Yeah. Yeah, I must be off. Plane goes at 7:30. I've got to get to Heathrow. I'm sorry, I tried not to wake you.
You didn't, I just woke.
Well,
What's the point, Jay? What good's it going to do?
there's a point to me.
You can't do anything. You won't find anything out. They've told us everything.
Look, don't let's start arguing again. I'm going, and that's it.
And will you tell me who is supposed to help? It won't help David. It won't help me. It won't even help you. It'll just bring it all back again. It's happened. It's over. You've got to forget it.
I'd better be off. I'll be back tomorrow.
Be careful.
Of course.
You won't do anything silly, will you?
Don't be daft. I suppose you travel a lot. Done this trip lots of times.
Afraid so.
It's my first time.
Business?
No, not really. No. You?
Big supergrass trial starts today. Fellow called Sean McConnell, spilling the beans on about 25 provos.
Yeah, so I heard.
My number came up to cover it.
You've been there a long time then.
Oh, good Lord, no. Oh, the trial will go on for months, but I just report on the opening. Then one of us will go up and pick up the verdicts. How is it?
Oh, it's not too bad. What about the rest of it, then? The trial, I mean.
Won't make the national news. All the local boys will handle it. They could, of course, handle the whole caboodle. They're really perfectly competent. The trouble with Northern Ireland is the built-in audience boredom factor. So when something comes up that has to be covered, the editor does his best to sugar the pill by sending over a well-known face to report. Sorry, I hope I'm not putting you off. I mean, everybody finds Belfast interesting. And it's not as dangerous as it was.
Isn't it?
Oh, no. No, in 1972 there were 467 people killed. Last year it was only 77. That's the famous acceptable level of violence. Most of those 77 are what's called legitimate targets for execution, on one side or the other. Yeah, we'll be all right. What are you going over for?
Well, the same reason as you. I'm going to the trial.
Really? What are you doing? Some sort of research?
No. It's my son. He was what's called a legitimate target. They executed him.
Oh, my God, I am sorry. I had no idea.
No, of course not, no. It's quite all right.
No, shouted the little man gleefully. That's not my name. What's my name? What's my name? Could your name just possibly be Rumpelstiltskin? Rumpelstiltskin!
What are you after?
Tommy Gillespie was on your pen.
I saw him in the baggage for the afternoon.
Oh, thank God, I thought we'd miss him. Hurry up, boys!
Good flight?
Oh, thanks. Why do they always put the daredevils on this route?
Only people who'll do it.
What time's it fitting?
11:30.
Back the time. Oh, Lordy, don't hang about.
What's up?
There's the guy I sat next to in the plane. If he thinks I've seen him, we'll have to give him a lift.
Fresh, was it?
His son was in the army. Got killed out here in '82. Look, I don't mean to be unsympathetic, but there's only so much.
What's his name?
Hollins.
Collins. Rings a bell. Second lieutenant. Something funny about it. What's he here for?
One of the provosts is up for the murder of his son, who wants to be at the trial.
Bit macabre. He's not a nutter, is he?
Didn't seem it.
Worth doing something on him, do you think?
I'll mention it to Graham, but I shouldn't think so. It's a bit hearts and flowers, a bit old hat.
Dear Dad and Mum, I must say, at first sight, this place isn't as bad as we all feared. It's quite quiet at the moment, and outside of the city you'd often think this is perfectly normal.
Well, hello there, Tommy.
Hello, Frank.
Can we have a brief word?
Of course you can. Always pleased to help the media. Frank, this is Mary.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Mary works in London. She's over here visiting her parents in Derry.
Very nice, very nice. Do you want Mary and the...
No. I'll wait till
Is that all right?
As you wish, fine. On the island, George. Okay on the island, Tommy?
Anything you say, Frank.
Right. When I give the cue, just walk out the doors and come across. Okay. Cue. Well, hello there, Tommy.
Hello, Frank. How are you?
All the better for seeing you. Tell us, how's it feel to be back in Belfast?
Feels marvellous. Marvellous. Always does.
That's great to hear, Tommy. Now, Tommy, you're back in Belfast for the Sports Writers' Dinner and Awards.
That's right. Mainly that. Fitting in one or two other engagements, but mainly that, yeah.
And you have been nominated for the Northern Ireland Sports Writers' Sportsman of the Year. How do you feel about that and your chances of winning?
Quite honestly, Frank, I'm just over the moon to be nominated. I've always found it an honour to play for Northern Ireland. And
53 appearances.
53, that's right. And perhaps I'm reaching the end of them now, but...
And now, Tommy, is there any truth in the rumour that you're to be offered the position of player-manager for Belfast City and that you're going to accept that offer? Is there any truth in it?
Quite honestly, Frank, at this moment in time, I'd rather not comment on that.
But is there any truth in the rumour?
The only comment I will make is to say that Belfast City is a great club, which I've always admired, and I think it's got the potential to be a great club. And that's all I want to say.
Well, thank you, Tommy, and good luck for the awards tonight.
Thank you, Frank.
Well then, it's always great to have Tommy Gillespie back here in Belfast. And the man I once said was Northern Ireland's greatest cockney and the... It's always great to have Tommy Gillespie back here in Belfast. The man I once said was Northern Ireland's favourite cockney and the cockney's favourite Northern Irishman.
Sorry, darling.
Don't be silly. They're not interested in me.
Nux. Taxi!
Sometimes, when we're on patrol, I look out of the vehicle and think for a moment we're in England. Or Scotland, anyway. I often think of that holiday we had up there. The countryside is lush and...
Morning, sir.
Morning.
Thank you, sir. Morning, sir. Do you need identification?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Right, thank you. Driving license would have done, sir. You don't need your passport here. You're still in the United Kingdom.
Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry, I wasn't thinking.
Enjoy your stay.
Thank you.
Hi! Port armed! Ready! Fire!
I hope everything went as you would have wished.
Oh, yes, thank you very much. Yes, we're very grateful. And we're grateful you came.
Oh, no. No, not at all. I was honoured to attend. I'm only sorry more of his personal friends weren't able to be here, his fellow officers. But of course you'll understand they're still on duty over there.
Yes, of course.
They sent a beautiful wreath.
Well, they have the very greatest respect for your son.
What? Can you tell us something about these special duties he was on?
I'm sorry, that's top secret. I can only tell you that it involved working on his own, that he knew he was in danger, and that he was a very, very brave young man. I'm sure you'll find that some consolation.
Yes.
And when you first look down on Belfast Lough, then the distant city, surrounded by hills, it doesn't look so very terrible. They say there are people in Belfast who have never even heard a bomb or a shot. It must have been a prosperous city once, with a lot of rich people. I suppose some of them still are. I bet you didn't know that outside the Belfast City Hall there's a monument to the victims of the Titanic. The ship was built here. There's not many ships built here anymore. Even so, a lot of it is surprisingly normal. You sometimes look round and think, this is a normal place. There's people walking about, going about their business. What am I doing here in an armoured car? Then you reach the entrance to the shopping centre, with its armed policemen and its barricades, all trying to keep death and destruction out. And you think, good God, what country am I in?
Your first time in Belfast?
Yeah, it is.
Well, you're all right now. It's near normal now.
Normal?
Well, compared to what it was. Now, there's people coming up from Dublin again. That yellow lot wouldn't come up unless it was normal. People here are safe enough these days. The buggers go for the property now. And of course for the legitimate targets. You'll be all right here, sir. They call this the Englishman's home from home.
Dear Dave, I think this room is what we used to call the executive class. As I always used to say, should be for the money. I tell you, for what I'm paying you, we could have had a week of pontins, all found for 6, fish and chips every night, a bottle of beer, and still had change for a packet of wood bones.
Oh, shut off, Dad.
Oh, no, I'm serious, son.
Come in.
Mr. Hollins?
Yeah?
My name's Martin, Army Liaison. May I come in?
Yeah, of course.
We haven't met. May I offer my belated condolences on the loss of your son? We're all, needless to say, very proud of him.
I'm sorry, I don't... How did you know who I was?
You've just checked in at the hotel.
No, I mean, how did you know I was in Belfast?
It's a very small city. I do wish you'd let us know you were coming. We like to help out as much as we can. We would have met you at the airport, done our best to ease the strain of your visit. May I ask if you're in Belfast on business?
No, I'm not in business.
Ah. So what is the purpose of your visit?
Do I have to have a purpose? It's British, isn't it? I have to have a purpose to go to Southampton.
Point taken, Mr. Hollins. But I'm sure you understand me. In these days, one usually has a purpose in visiting Belfast.
Yeah, I would have thought that was obvious. I've come for the trial.
Ah, that's what we thought, yes. I'm sorry, Mr. Hollins, I didn't mean to seem nosy. It's just that any trial in Belfast is difficult, this one particularly so. And whilst we sympathise entirely with your feelings, the desire for revenge is strong in all of us.
Revenge?
Justice, I mean. The desire for justice. Believe me, justice will be done by the court. What we are not so sure about is that justice will be helped by the additional emotional charge of relatives being present at the time.
I'm sorry. I don't understand the words you're using. My son was murdered.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I want to see the man who did it.
Who is accused of doing it?
Well, accused of doing it? Yeah, fine. You wouldn't have him if you didn't think he did it. I just want to try and understand why.
Why?
Yes, why?
Your son was a soldier. To the people who killed him, this is a war. Any soldier is a legitimate target.
I'm doing my best to control my temper. Legitimate target? That's the 3rd or 4th time I've heard that today. Legitimate target may mean something to you. All it means to me is my son is dead. I want to know why.
Well, you know the facts. You were given those.
Was I?
I understand you were.
I was told he was on special duties.
That's correct.
What were they?
You can't expect me to divulge that, even if I knew, which of course I don't. I can only repeat that he was a very brave man. But if you feel that attending the trial would help you to, how shall I put it, greater peace of mind, then of course we have no objection.
I thought this was a free country. Can you object?
We certainly have no intention of doing so. Believe me, Mr. Hollins, our only desire is to help you as much as we can. The sitting begins at 11:30. There'll be a taxi waiting for you at 11 o'clock, with our compliments, of course. That'll get you there in plenty of time. Well, I must be going. Enjoy your stay, Mr. Hollins. Oh, one tip. Belfast is a funny place. People can be very friendly, but everyone has an axe to grind. Take everything you hear with a pinch of salt. When are you leaving?
No, I haven't decided yet. At these rates, I won't be here long.
Oh, we'll be happy to pick up your tab. For one night, anyway. Goodbye, Mr. Hollins. A pleasure to meet you.
Goodbye. Pint of pride for you. Pride and Chiswick mixed for me.
Thanks.
There are terrible stages in a father's life. The first is when he goes to put his arm round his kid, finds he has to move the arm up rather than down. And anyway, the kid's too old to want the arm there. And the second is when his kid can drink his beer stronger than Dad can. Cheers.
Cheers.
Sandhurst training, I suppose.
Shove off, Dad.
Come on, you know I'm proud of it. I never reached above SAC in my national service. You're happy with it, aren't you?
Yeah. It's better than that year of doing nothing. I couldn't stand doing nothing. It didn't look as if anything else was coming.
Oh, come on, don't look at it like that. It's not easy to get a commission, and you got one. And Mum's very proud. Mind you, as we know, she is Scottish and a bit of a snob, but... no, I'm proud too.
Cheers, Dad.
Cheers. So, Ireland wasn't as bad as you expected then?
No. No, I suppose not. As long as I never have to go back.
What do you mean?
Well, it's difficult. Most people don't like to talk about it. People who have been through it, I mean, it's just something they want to forget. Put behind them.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. Because you're ashamed it's there. I mean, in the state it is. And because you're ashamed you were there. It's not a job to take much pride in. It's very easy to behave badly, to watch other people behaving badly. And there's nothing you can do about it because you can understand the awful job it is and the state of fear a lot of people are in. Them and us.
What do you mean, behaving badly?
Oh, I don't want to go into it. I don't mean our lads are doing anything wrong. In many ways, they're marvellous. What they put up with, you wouldn't believe. I just mean it's a brutal place. They've got a cause for it. We haven't. Only to stop them being brutal. Well, that's a cause, I suppose. But there's no passion in it. If you're brutal with passion, it might feel all right. If you're brutal without, then it just feels brutal. I mean, as things stand, I can see there's no choice. Not much choice. But that doesn't make it any easier. Quite honestly, Dad, it made me sick. And I never understood it. I just wanted to stand up all the time and shout, "Stop this bloody stupidity." Of course, I knew that no one would listen. I just pray to God I don't have to go back.
Well, I don't suppose you will.
Oh, I don't know about that. There's a shortage of bodies with this Falklands duel. Anyway, how are Rangers playing this season?
Oh, I haven't been much since you've been gone. I haven't been at all.
This will not do. They're home on Saturday. Let's go.
Great.
Then I thought I might have a week in Spain.
Spain?
Yeah, why not? Last week of my leave, take a cheap flight. I mean, I'd say let's all go. That would be terrific, but obviously you couldn't get time off work just like that.
No, I couldn't. Anyway, you'd be best off by yourself. Have a bit of fun.
Make a change. It's great to see you, Dad.
Bet that pint tastes good.
Mmm.
Match tonight. If there's no trouble with the English fans, we might get 3 minutes, but if there's any sort of a rumpus at all, we'll be down to a cough and a spit. Oh, hell. Anyway, Graham wants a cook's tour of comment on supergrasses. Line up Paisley, Jerry Adams, Molyneux, etc. Better throw in the RUC as well. Might do a couple of Vox Pop, too. Have the crew ready in case I can manage a bit for the lunchtime. OK, see you, Jimmy.
Right, you are, Sue.
I'm terribly sorry, but as I said earlier, if you'd only let us know, things could have been arranged. The court's very small and it's absolutely full, and there's no way I can get you in at the moment.
Morning, Alan.
Not getting.
Hello, Sue.
Not getting.
I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do.
I've come all the way from London.
I know, I'm sorry.
This is ridiculous. I've got to get in.
That's why I say you should have let us know. We'd have got you in somehow or saved you a journey.
But it's about my son. There's a man in there who killed my son. Look, I have a right to be in there.
I totally understand and sympathize with your point of view. But unfortunately, you don't have the right to be in there. There are 23 people in the dock today. Between them, they're accused of over 100 crimes. Michael O'Hagan is just one of those people, and the murder of your son is just one of those crimes.
Oh, you do have a talent for a choice of words.
Mr. Hollins, I'm doing my best to help.
You could have fooled me.
The point I'm trying to make is that with 23 people in the dock, there's very little room for all the accused, let alone the others who want to get in. The relations and friends of the accused, for a start. Quite a few of them have not got in today. They're sitting over there on the chance that someone may come out and make room for someone else to go in. Look, I'm so sorry about the time and trouble you'll obviously feel you've wasted. As I say, we'll be happy to refund.
Wait.
I'm sorry?
If they're waiting, I can wait. Someone might come out.
I'm sure you'd be wasting your time.
I've got nothing else to do.
All right, dear. Fine. You do as you wish.
I'll wait.
He's not to be let in.
Bastards in. Well, I know we meet again some sunny day. Shall boy be well. Yes, this is ridiculous. It must be bloody illegal. They can't keep us out.
Liam, there's no point getting in a state. There's no room.
But they ought to make bloody room. We've got a right to be in there.
We came too late. There's no room.
No, I'm not having that.
Liam.
You listen to me. Now, we've got a right to be in there. Yeah, we're going in there.
You can wait or leave. You can't go in there.
Now, you look here. This whole trial is a sham of justice. Hey, do you understand those words? A sham of so-called British justice. There's 23 innocent people in there and they're about to go down on the word of a paid informer. A bloody traitor.
If you carry on like this, I'll have to put you out.
A man who should face the firing squad, and we'll face it, believe you me. Wherever you hide him, he'll be got someday. Well, that bastard's days are numbered, believe you me.
All right, that's it. Come on, you're going.
All right. Calm down. Let's all calm down. I merely put in a polite request. A legitimate request, which even I am entitled to make. Now, my brother is in there. Michael O'Hagan. My brother. Now, Michael O'Hagan is facing a charge of murder. On the word of that...
Are you going to start all that
in
again?
a colonial court, with a loyalist judge and no jury to listen to his plea. I have a right to be in there and be by his side. Are you letting us in?
I cannot let you in. The court is full. And I'm telling you one more time,
Sit down and keep quiet, or you'll be put out, do you hear? I tell you, when the revolution comes...
There's no point getting in a state. Do you want a coffee? There's a tea bar down there.
Aye, all right, might as well. Siobhan, I'll have tea if it's there.
That looks a good night.
It was.
Were you drunk?
Of course he wasn't drunk.
I was legless.
Oh, David.
Ah, a little merry, that's all.
Who's the girl?
Oh, someone called Siobhan. She was on holiday there.
Siobhan, that's an Irish name, isn't it?
Yes. I believe she was Irish.
I believe she was Irish.
Oh, come on, Dad. She was just someone I met, one of the people there.
It's all right. I'm only pulling your leg.
Well, I hope you behaved yourself.
Of course he did. He was only pulling his leg. Well, you seem to have a good time.
Oh, I did, yeah. I really did. It was marvellous.
Look, if a place comes up, I think you should go in.
Oh, so do I.
I mean, instead of me.
That's what I meant too.
Well, there's not really much point in me staying then.
What do you want to sneak off for?
Do you not want to sneak off? What's the matter with you? You're so suspicious. I just want to go and see how Auntie Bridget is. She's in bed. I should see her. You were meant to go last Sunday.
Well, now, don't be daft. How could I?
We were drunk, that's why.
But I had a few jars, that's all. I'll go on, shove off then. I don't want you here. I'll be fine.
I'll get you something for your supper.
Well, oh, don't bother about me.
I'll see you then.
Right.
Hey, get a pizza. I like a pizza.
All right.
You're going?
Yes, yeah, I thought I would. Doesn't seem any point.
I'm sure you're doing the right thing.
I might be back.
Well, honestly, if you take
I
my
must
advice...
go. Must go.
Taxi!
Can you go the way that taxi's going? Just go that way, please. After it.
That's the only way I'm going.
There's another one of those letters for Dave. Please Fort Glen, something or other. Who do you think it's from?
How should I know? Some girl, I expect. Maybe the one he met on holiday. He is 21, G.
No, I suppose so, yes. But why can't we just rewrite the address? Why do we have to put it in another envelope?
Because he asked us to. He knows his business. Maybe they wouldn't like it if they knew he had an Irish girlfriend. He's just being careful, that's all.
Springfield Avenue. Me. St. Vincent's her. Anyway, I says to him, I says, I'm not having that, I says. And he says, why not? Because it's not fresh. And he says, I can assure you...
Excuse me. I'm sorry, but this taxi's taken.
Taken? What do you mean?
I've hired it. I've hired it.
Is this Springfield? Yes, it is. Oh, thank the black Jesus, for I couldn't have walked another step. Oh. don't think you can travel in it, though. Your mum here says he's hired him. Hired him? It's an Englishman. English? You an Englishman?
Yeah.
You don't get many English and black taxis. I suppose you think she's still in London. Here, I'm saying I dare say the Englishman imagines he's still in London.
Maybe I should charge him full London fare, eh?
Not without additional VAT. See, this black taxi. Black taxi. It's a black taxi, this. You don't hire a black taxi all yourself. Not without additional VAT.
Thank you. How much is that? 30p. You sure this is what you want?
Yeah, fine.
It's around London for many years. It's a good bit of work.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Here, can you pay the VAT?
It's all right, boy. It's all right.
Caesar! Caesar!
Some people call Northern Ireland the only third world country in Europe. The first time I was here, I got very angry. This time I just keep thinking, oh, the pity of it.
Go on then, mate, on your way.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Sorry, now you up to?
I'm sorry, I just, well, I got lost. I thought you could tell me where I am.
What are you, a prick or something? What you doing around here?
Well, I was just, out walking and, well, I wasn't sure where I am.
Well, I tell you, you're in the wrong bloody place. Sorry, mate, but I don't want to get top while I'm talking to you, do I?
No. Well, if you could just tell me the best way to go, back to the centre.
Jesus, some people. Walk straight down here, turn right, take the first right again. Walk down to the peace line, yeah? You'll see
Peace line?
Yeah, that's the wall that keeps the caps from the prods. You'll see a gate. Go through the gate, up the hill. You'll get to the Shankill Road. You should get a taxi there or something.
Thank you.
I didn't say that, sir.
Nobody believes the wall till they see it. Must be the only one of its kind outside Berlin. The original idea was to stop them throwing bombs and bricks at each other. That wasn't enough. Now they've built it even higher so that there's no chance of them even seeing each other.
Delegation leaders used to feature more in sorrow than in anger.
I hear Britain needs it on the market, and I hope that the Labour Party will see it in the same way when they are in power. But now, from the opposition side, perhaps it's important for the policies they will make. Maybe.
Bottle or glass?
But in what sense, Mr.
Glass. Which way's the gent?
Over there.
Thanks.
Then you're only dealing with the amount of money Britain has to pay to the European budget.
On your holidays, are you?
No, not really. Just having a look round.
Newspapers? Television?
Oh, no.
We'll get a belly full of them. Did the Shankled butchers drink in here? Has anybody strung up a papist today?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
So, what are you doing here then?
Well, as I said, I had to come to Belfast, so I thought I'd have a wander around. See what you read so much about it. See for myself. To tell you the truth, I was dying for a pee, so I came in here. I thought I'd have a drink too. Try an Irish Guinness. I've never had one.
Once it crosses the border, it's British Guinness. But you'll be all right here. Your man pours a good pint.
The supporters had travelled to the continent on the overnight ferries, and the police, well aware of the reputation that English fans have abroad, were already waiting in port.
Bloody lunatics. They get a good kick in the arse if they were mine.
I'd put the lot on away. Give them a dose of the crack.
You know, one of the English kings banned soccer altogether. Said it caused too much trouble.
However, that before the game kicks off tonight, will find themselves under
It was
and that the riot
Henry VIII or Elizabeth. One of them is anyway.
In Belfast today, the trial opened of 23 men accused of terrorist crimes. The charges have been brought on the...
Ought to string that lad up too.
Still, I don't like grosses of any sort.
Oh, nor do I.
Security was tight today. There were 23
Stuck-up cow, isn't she?
She is.
I wouldn't give her one if I had a bottle of bush inside me.
In fact, one of the first things to happen was that one of the most serious charges was withdrawn. Michael O'Hagan from Glenmina, County Antrim, had been accused of the murder of Second Lieutenant David Hollins in September 1982.
What let him off for?
Lieutenant
Bastard,
Hollins' body
dead
was
as-
found
Of course he
dumped
did.
on the outskirts of Belfast. He was wearing civilian clothes. The IRA have claimed responsibility for this murder, saying that Lieutenant Hollins was on an undercover mission. The Army, as usual, have refused to comment on this. After the charge against Michael O'Hagan was withdrawn, the trial continued.
So, how do you now take a look at your country, as it is, from across the waters? How does it look to you from over there?
Well, in my opinion, Regina, I mean, the first rule with me is that sport and politics don't mix. I love this country dearly, and...
Oh, good morning, Mr. Hollins. We didn't expect you in today. Mr. Grant did say take your time, didn't he? Are you sure you...
Oh, it's much better to work. Must be lots to catch up on. Oh, thank you very much for the wreath. It was most kind of you.
Oh, no. I mean, it was the least we could do. It's so very hard to know what to say.
Well, there's nothing to, nothing, really.
Anyway, we all know how brave he was and how proud you must be. And if there's anything at all that any of us... You know what I mean.
Thank you, Mrs. Hunter. You're all very kind.
Would you like a cup of coffee?
Yes, please, I would.
I'll get you one.
Don't know who the bloke is, but Northern Ireland is a lovely place. Sorry if what I'm doing causes you trouble. I think you'll understand. But Mum might need some explaining too. Take care of yourself. And her. Love, Dave.
Hello?
Could I speak to Siobhan O'Hagan, please?
Who's that?
Is that the Siobhan that used to be a friend of David Hollins?
Who is that?
Look, you don't know me, but I want to talk to you. My name...
Are you a bloody reporter? Well, if you are, come on. Come on. Come and report this.
You singing her!
Harry bastard!
We don't want you here. Get out of here!
Get out of here and take your bloody murder and violence with you! Get him in straight!
you going, you bitch? I'm going. Isn't that what you want? I'm going.
Find your mother and brother. Take the bastard with you.
You helped them, didn't you, you papist whore? You took your knickers down to catch a poor bastard. Did you take your knickers down for the judge?
You're nothing but scum.
Oh, that's clever, isn't it? You're so bright up here. You want me out. I'm going. So you smash up the van I'm going in. You're like the whole of this bloody country. You're so bright up here. Talk to me like bloody that. You talk to me like that.
You wash your mouth out, you fiend her.
You can't talk to me like that. I'll tear your bloody eyes out.
Stop it, Sorry. Will you stop it?
Oh, look. Here's a Brit.
What the hell's your game?
Her brother murdered one of yours.
And they got away with it.
It's her fault he's dead.
We want her and every one of them out of here. Well, if you want her out, let her get out. She said she was going. We'll let her go. Come on, I've got a car. And if you lot don't stop this stupid nonsense... Now stop it. Do you hear? Come on. Now go home. Go home.
What the bloody hell are you defending her for?
I said go home!
Her brother murdered one of yours.
Look, I've called the police. They'll be here any minute. Now, I'm on your side, you know that. I don't want to see any of you get into trouble. And if you don't want to get into trouble, go home. Put your belt on.
Oh, Jesus, that's the least of my worries. Thank you.
Who were they?
Just people. I think they came over from Ballymena. I've never seen them before. They know us, of course. We're famous now.
Why are they so mad?
Because Michael got off. They think every Republican who's arrested has to be guilty.
Was your brother guilty?
Who are you? What paper are you from?
Look, I want to talk, but quite honestly, I'm in too much of a state to drive safely and talk properly. Where are you going?
Larne, for the ferry across the water. Clear of this down country.
I don't know my way around. How far is Larne?
Oh, it's about 15 miles. Turn right onto the coast road and go straight on through.
We'll talk when we get there.
You were in court?
Yes.
I know who you are. I saw your photograph once. You're David's father. Oh, dear God.
Were those women right? Was it your fault he died?
You know what they meant?
Yes, oh yes. I've seen the stories in the papers. A girl pretends to take a fancy to a soldier. Leaves him off somewhere with promise of love. And then stands and watches while the soldier's shot dead. Used to happen with girls in the French resistance. When the German was dead, the girl got a medal. I suppose there's some sort of medal given here.
No. They write a song about you. Do you think that's what I did?
I don't know. I don't know anything over here. It's like being in Africa to me. I saw on the television that your brother had got off. And they said where he came from. Glenmina. And that's where the letters came from. Where his postcard came from. And he posted that the day he died.
What postcard? Why do you think he wrote that?
Can't you tell me? For God's sake, I don't think you did what those women said. For a start, they let your brother go, and if they let him go, then he probably didn't do it. Especially over here, where they seem to be able to hang on to people forever. And anyway, I may be simple, but I cannot believe that anybody could stand here with me, talking to me, knowing who I am, if they'd done that to my son. I may be simple, but I can't believe that.
Well, you are simple. This is supposed to be a war. Your son, as your son, doesn't come into it.
He comes into it to me.
No, I didn't do what those women said.
But you know something, you must. Just tell me what happened.
Just tell you? Oh, yeah. Where do you think you are? Sean McConnell is in court telling what happened. He'll pick up his money and go as far as he can. But they'll get him one day. If you want to stay alive, you keep your mouth shut.
But it's only for me. I don't want revenge. Where's the point in that? I just want someone to tell me the truth. I just want the truth.
Oh, dear God. This country is full of truths. Just take your pick of the one that suits you.
Look, listen. When it happened, when we got the news, when the big brass came to the funeral and they told me, hero, hero. We're all proud of your son. Your son is a hero. Can't explain why. Special mission, top secret. Hush, hush. Safety of the nation is at stake, but proud, you be proud. I didn't really understand. I've been proud of him every day of his life. I was proud the day he was born. I was proud the first day he toddled and the first day he talked. I was proud of him every day of his life. What's this special pride just because he's dead? I love that boy more than anything and anybody, and there is no describing, there's no describing it, that cut off, finish. Suddenly he's gone. They all stand around just saying things, best things they can think of. And it's hell for them, but for you, they're not really there. All that's there is a terrible, terrible emptiness. And you cannot believe it because it cannot be true. It is true. And it seemed to help them all to feel proud and to feel that I was proud. And it seemed to help my wife a bit. And perhaps it might help me, so I tried to be proud. And I believed everything they told me. Why shouldn't I? I simply assumed they were speaking the truth. Even when I got the postcard, I didn't doubt it much. I showed it to the army bloke, and he said, well, he knew it was a dangerous mission. That's why he said sorry for the trouble. Knew how grief-stricken you'd be if he got killed. Shouldn't have sent it, though. Against regulations. Still, won't go on his record, but overlook that. Proud. You be proud. But more and more, I started thinking, something's not right. He's not saying what that army bloke says he is. I'm sorry if what I'm doing causes you trouble. He's not saying something might go wrong. He's saying we might think what he's doing is wrong. In that case, he thought we'd find out what it was, but we didn't. We couldn't. It was secret. And anyway, he got killed. Jean, that's my wife, she said I was silly about it, worrying about it. It was all as they said. What was the matter with me? Didn't I want him to be a hero, be proud of him? Yes. The answer is yes. But if there was something that Dave wanted me to know about what he was doing, and so why he's now dead, then I want to know it. Don't you understand that?
Yes.
Please tell me. Please.
I've always said this, Tom. I've always said this, Norman. Sport is the only thing that can unite this country. The only thing. The only thing.
That's right. That's right.
I can name you now 3 people who could run this country without any fear of being gunned down. Barry McGuigan.
Barry McGuigan, right. Barry McGuigan.
Billy Bingham.
Billy Bingham, right. Billy Bingham.
And even if she is a woman, Mary Peters.
Mary Peters, right. Mary Peters.
And I'll add one more. Tommy Gillespie.
Yes, that's right, Tommy. That's right. Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
Oh, you could, boy. Of course you could. Well, unless he gets back across the water. What are you going to do about that Norman, eh? Are you grabbing him for Belfast City?
All will be revealed in good time, Frank.
No. Sport is the only thing. They talk about liberals in this country. Middle of the road and all that crap. But when it comes to the crunch, outside of sport, everybody in this country is either blue or green. And I mean everybody. Blue or green.
I didn't know he was a soldier. Not at first. I didn't even really notice he was a Brit. We were just all on holiday and having a good time. It was the first time I'd ever been abroad, and only went then because my friend Kathy was going. Well, it's very easy there. It's so different and romantic. And I fell in love with him. Of course, I couldn't tell my brothers about it. Liam's very, very staunch, and Michael does everything Liam says. Liam hates the Brits. I think he might have killed me if he'd known. He'd certainly have tried to kill Dave. Anyway, Dave had been over here. I never thought he'd be back so soon. Well, he wouldn't have been without the Falklands taking all the troops. We had to be very careful with the letters, from every point of view. He said security at the barracks was very strict, and they always wanted to know about regular letters with an Irish postmark. That's why I wrote to him, Carreview. He didn't want the chance of what he wrote to me being read, so he posted his letters when he was outside the barracks and sent them care of my Auntie Bridget. I told her I had a secret lover and so couldn't have his letters at home. She got fun out of that. She didn't know he was a soldier, of course. He wrote very good letters.
Yes, he did.
Told me all about what he was doing and what he thought. But of course, we mainly wrote about us. Then Cathy moved to Belfast. She'd qualified as a beautician and got herself a wee flat. I would come up for the weekend to see Auntie Bridget. Then Cathy would arrange to go out somewhere and let Dave and I have our flat for a bit. It was in the Ravenhill Road. That's a respectable, a very safe part. Dave could go there with no trouble at all. Most of the time there, it was wonderful. It was like we were in a different world.
In a statement, the minister said he was appalled and sickened by the violence. Once again, a small number of hooligans have managed to besmirch the good name of England. The trouble started early in the day, as Kate Adie now reports.
I can do without her. Why does she always get the cream and I get the dross? We'll be lucky to get 30 seconds. That means we have facts. Goodbye to my bit about what the IRA's thinking. Oh, what the hell. I'll get more drinks.
Oh, my turn, Sam.
No. I can do it on expenses.
What the IRA's thinking? I've been here all my life and I don't know what the IRA's thinking. Bloody tits. Over here for 24 hours and I started pontificate about what they...
Jimmy, more tonic.
Right, Suze. Fine, thanks. She's treating the little boys. Here we go.
In Northern Ireland, on the same day as the opening of the latest so-called Supergrass trial, an RUC reservist was shot and killed outside his home. John Tandy, a 31-year-old married man with 2 children, had been a member of the force for 5 years. The Provisional IRA claimed responsibility for the murder, adding that they considered Mr. Tandy to be a legitimate target.
Then one day he just said, I'm going to desert.
Desert?
He'd had enough, he said. He was going to get out. I tried to talk him out of it. I said, you've only got a year to go. You can get out then. And you might be posted away from here very soon. He'd had enough, he said. He was going now. He wanted to be with me, he said. And he wanted to be able to talk about it. To tell people about it.
Talk about what?
About what was happening over here. About how useless it was him being here. About what it did to the soldiers to have to be here. It brutalised them, he said. They were doing the job of some fascist police, so in the end they started behaving like one. And most of all, he wanted to scream about the awful neglect these 6 counties have had, about the terrible way some people have to live. You can't put that right with an army, he said. If only he could tell people about it, then somehow something might get done. Sounds a bit simple when I put it like that. But it didn't when he said it.
How could he say it? If he deserted and came to England, he'd be arrested, wouldn't he?
He didn't plan to go to England. We were going to go over the border and then maybe to America. He knew a lot of people would call him a traitor, but he thought some might listen and it would be worth it for that. I'm sorry. It must be a bit of a shock for you.
But why is he dead?
That's what I want. Got a hell of a thirst. Bloody great England lost 2-0. Brandy for you, Norman, and know that. What's yours, Tommy?
Nah, it's my shout.
No, Tommy.
No, it's my shout. Brandy, Mr. Garnett?
Call me Norman, for God's sake. Brandy, yes.
Bushmills for me.
I'll be right back.
Think he's disappointed he didn't win?
I didn't stand a chance. I didn't vote for him.
Neither did I. He was a nice enough lad, though. And he's one of us.
Oh, sure.
She's not, though. Bit worried about that.
Now, listen here, Norman. Tommy Gillespie needs you more than you need him. He's finished over there. Nobody's offering him anything. Well, he could do a good job for you at City. You could get 2 or 3 more years from him yet. But he's not worth tampering with your principles.
No, I wouldn't do that.
You state your terms, and he'll fall in. A wonderful sight. Thank you, Tommy. Here's to the wonderful world of sport.
He knew my brothers were Republicans. And Republicans help deserters sometimes. Puts the army in a bad light. So he asked me if my brothers could help us. Hide him up at the farm for a bit, maybe, and then help us both across the border. So that's what we did. What we arranged, anyway. A Sunday was fixed. Sunday afternoon. My brother Liam fixed for a friend with a van to be passing near the barracks where Dave would be waiting to be picked up. The friend with the van would bring Dave to the farm. Dave got to the farm. He was executed. It doesn't matter who did it. Whoever did was acting on orders.
Why?
Because Dave was a spy. It was all a setup. He was only pretending. The world will change. You know what my brother Liam said? He said, "What the hell's happening to Brit intelligence? Can't they come up with something better than that?"
Well, you can't. You couldn't.
I don't know whether he got the idea in Ibiza or not till he came over here again. I've got to give it to him. He took me in at first. The romance, the bed, the you are my life. Oh, he had a bit of a way with him. You're his father, of course. You'd have to see all that in a different light. You've got to see him doing his job and doing that bit of it bloody well. You mustn't see him as the shit that I do.
But he... No. No. It's not right. It's no sense. The person you are talking about is not Dave. I know him. He wouldn't do a thing like that. He wouldn't. He couldn't.
He did.
But you could have been wrong, for Christ's sake. He might have meant it all. He might have... He sent me this. Sorry if what I'm doing causes you trouble. Mum might need some explaining to. He was meaning to desert. It's obvious.
Oh, that's right. It was obvious. He was a deserter. Even his dad has a postcard to prove it. Don't you read the advertisements? They call themselves the professionals. It was that postcard that made me absolutely sure.
But he was killed, for Christ's sake! You mean you weren't sure?
He was given a trial.
What are you talking about? Did he have a judge and jury or
Do you
something?
think we had a jury in Belfast today? We don't have juries in this country now. Not for crimes to do with the war. Dave was fighting a war. And if he did what they said he did...
If? You're talking about my son! I loved my son! My son is dead!
I loved him too.
He was found guilty. He was executed. I must get the boat. I'm getting out of this bloody country. They were right what they said. He was a hero from their point of view. You can be proud of him.
He did. They had to adjourn for a while. They took him and they cleaned him up. The smell was. Hello, Mr. Hollins. I assumed you'd gone home.
Can I have a word with you?
Well, it's a little difficult just now. I'm off duty.
I want to talk to you.
Well, if you'll excuse me, Sue, I'll just go and have a word in the corner.
No, you won't. You'll come to my room. I want a private talk.
Look, Mr. Hollins, I'm very sorry, but I am rather busy at the
All right, you want me to shout it out? Tell everyone here, is that what you want?
Sorry, Sue. Better go. You know what it's like, never really off duty.
Or any of us.
After you, Mr. Hollins.
For many a year, I spent all my money on whiskey and beer.
I've been the admirer of yours ever since the day I first saw you play. I'm sure you'll do a great job for City.
Well, thanks very much, Mr. Garnett.
It's a great club, Belfast City.
Oh, yes.
Great tradition behind it.
Yep.
Of course, things have changed. There's nothing discriminatory anymore. Anybody can play for City. Just so happens they're all loyalists. There's just one other thing, Tommy. There's a bit of a rumour floating.
Your damnedest to see that it was covered up.
Mr.
But
Hollins.
take this case. Shoot you down to the ground. They assume he's a spy. They execute him. Put out a statement saying what they've done. You grab onto that. You agree with them. Tell me he's a hero. Desertion dismissed.
Good heavens, how devious do you think we are?
I don't know. I don't know anything here. Were they right when they killed him, or weren't they?
Right? Surely you don't think they've the right to kill. They think they have. But that's why we're here. They are terrorists and they are wrong.
Yes, I see all that. I'm not bloody stupid.
Do you want to think of your son as a deserter?
I want to know what he wanted me to know. What he wrote about this place. What he said to me, said to her, he felt about it. If that's what he meant, I want to know. If it was all a sham, I want to know that too. But it's important to me to know what he died for. Can't you see that?
I dare say he meant a lot of it. Contrary to what a lot of people believe, you do not stop thinking or feeling when you join the army. But we don't make policy, as you know. What was her name?
Siobhan.
Siobhan. She'd almost certainly be in on it, too.
What do you mean?
The IRA may be evil, but they are not stupid. They must have known she was having the affair. She'd be under instructions to persuade him to desert. Our intelligence probably knew about that, and so your son knew it.
Are you telling me they were both lying, then?
Intelligence didn't confide in me. I'm only guessing, as you are. And if you ever quoted anything I said, I should certainly deny it.
Why did they let the brother go?
Perhaps they discovered he wasn't guilty.
Perhaps they were afraid of too much coming out.
Perhaps he cooperated with the police. In some countries, I am not saying here, they sometimes deliberately let prisoners go to give the impression they've cooperated. Perhaps that's why his sister was fleeing the country.
Good God. She was hardly fleeing the country. She was going across some water, that's all. Supposed to be the same bloody country.
I can't imagine you really believe that. Will you excuse me? I've left a lady waiting. Good night, Mr. Hollins.
What really happened?
Believe me, Mr. Hollins, your son was a hero. You can be proud of him.
Believe me.
Northern Ireland, we'll support you evermore. We'll support you ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just about to pass over the English coast. The city of Liverpool will be on your left, and we shall shortly be beginning our descent to London Heathrow.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Back to civilization. Must freshen up. Always come back from that place with a hangover. Enjoy the trip, did you?
Yeah, fine.
Bye.
You know,
What?
well, we could always put off getting married for a couple of years till you've established yourself as a manager there. Then you could come back and get a good job in England. What do you think?
I think... bugger 'em.
We'll support you evermore. We'll support you ever.
Was it worth it?
I don't know.
Did you find anything out?
I don't know.
It's quite straightforward, Jeff. They told us the truth.
Now perhaps you'll be happy to leave it at that.